coat this, especially on the pith, with super glue. The super glue is a very effective medium for stopping evaporation. And then I would put it in, I wouldn't use wax because it's not effective. I'd put it in a plastic bag and set it aside. Now some woods are going to spalt on you and I have to take that chance, but I found most of them don't. So it eventually stabilizes inside the bag, the moisture escapes whenever it does, and it can't go anywhere. And it's usually a trash can liner, something very thin, and it lets moisture go through the plastic very slowly. And that's how I control the wood I have. If I do a hollow form, typically I'll do it in 2 stages. I'll rough turn it, wet. It's got a coating of super glue on the outside, so the only way it can escape moisture is through the opening. Now, put it in a plastic bag again and let it dry. And it might take several months to do that. But it's about the only way I can have control of the wood that I'm working with. And a lot of my work is done with pith in the middle, so I can get away with it. This is a piece that Lonnie gave me that's the pith in the middle. I've turned it true, and I'm going to try and do a hollow form with this and see if we can eliminate any checking that comes about, and that we'll start checking. I found out I had it this way initially, and I found out that the knot here, I don't know if this is going to create a problem, but that's about the only way you can find out is to put it on the lathe and start turning. So that's what we'll do. I don't have any particular shape in mind. It's going to come up as a result of turning and see if I have to dodge something. Okay, because this is a Thompson gouge with 10% vanadium, which is really a very nice gouge. I recycle my old handles. I like this shape where you've got a very subtle handle here, and it comes up near the end of it, like that. It just feels right because I can put my thumb in the shallow part. And it feels comfortable, which is good. Your tools should feel comfortable in your hand, and not awkward. So sometimes you have a big handle like this. If you have a small hand, it just doesn't feel right. It's too big. So you can take the steel out, put it on the lathe, and shape this down to fit your hand. And it makes it much more comfortable and easy to use. I'm not going to make a big piece. I'm going to make sort of a small hole nose with a diamond hole. I seem to hold the edge pretty well. Sorry. What I'm looking for is the things that are in my head. I don't work from a drawing, I work from something that's in my head like a drawing. I know I don't want the maximum diameter to be right in the middle. That's going to create a little confusion to the observer. It should be towards the top. I don't have a formula of where in the top because I do different things, and I'm not too concerned about formulas, more so than the aesthetic of the piece. I'm also looking for a gracefulness. If the piece is curved like this, I want it to be graceful with no unusual changes in direction. Everything should sort of just come together, and those are my guidelines. Or when I'm here in the Bay Area.
There is?
Yeah,
Where?
up in Oakland. Alameda, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called wood line.
Okay, so they might have it.
Japan wood worker.
The booth in the show, I think they were from Japan, but I can't be sure. But anyway, it's pretty handy because it fits your pocket. Again, it's travel size.
It's also a great wood shop, a big wood shop up in Oakland.
And they have wood there too.
Yeah.
So,
What's the name of it?
it's called wood line, the Japan woodworker. It's also called a wood line.
Oh.
Can
It's an
can you
Alameda.
close that door? Not the tall one, the one above you.
Yeah. This is the STEM Center.
Oh, yeah, just so you know.
And it's run horizontal,
Slightly below horizontal.
as opposed to tilting the edge 45 degrees.
Yeah. So I can't get in where that negative curve is, but every other area I can clean up.
You at the axis too? Coming at the axis?
Yeah. And if you have a light that's shining across, you could see all those little grooves that you're illuminating. And that's essentially it. It's just essentially finishing the piece. The wood you remove is tiny, but it's refining that curve to be very, very smooth. You don't have any little ridges in it. There's some areas that this won't work, so I got another scraper that I made, that anyone can make. Scrapers became out of fashion because they were originally used in the trade, wood turning trade, to create patterns, and that's all it was used.
So how long have you had that tool, Paul? Pretty,
About this long.
about that long. How big is the one that got away?
This is probably 1988.
And it's about a half inch in stock?
It's
Like
about
about
3/8. Came from the UK. Has a woodcraft label on it, and they probably got it from one of the. They hand very well. This is a copper ferrule from a plumbing store. A piece of ground steel that I ground flat so that the teardrop sits flat on it, it doesn't rock. I don't know what the angle is, but it's a little negative. And then I can use it, I sharpen it on both sides, so I can use it this way and upside down. Doesn't matter. So we'll finish this. You don't have to turn it that fast. Like that is your station.
Is there something actually rotating in there? Or just put a character on the outside?
Well, the wood structure.
Yeah.
Shavings come out, so this thing is a crushed tube.
Oh.
It's designed to be very, very stiff, and it's created for drilling gun barrels with a liquid coolant going through. It's been modified to take air, and it's got a carbide tip brace to the end of it, which actually does the cutting.
So where's the air blowing out?
There's a hole in the end.
At the very end? Okay.
Yeah. And so it'll eject the chips as you're drilling very effective and very straight. It's virtually impossible because they're too big. And I always felt if I could make my own tools, I start off small because I have very limited space in there to remove the chips, and so I have to start off small. I made this little boring bar, and I'm just pushing it against the hole, enlarging it as I go down the length of the vessel. I'm not too concerned about finessing the vessel, just getting the wood out of it so I have some room. This tool will work for about 3 or 4 inches, and then it gets back alongside them. To get around this corner here, where the shoulder is, I'm using this in a very local area. Again, just to remove as much wood as I can. This boring bar is made out of pipe, one fitting into the other. This is 1/2 inch. It's a heavy wall pipe. This is 1/4 inch, and then there's an 1/8 inch in here, and then the cutter is pressed into the 1/8 inch and then held in place with super glue. Again, this is only good for going down a certain depth, and then I have a bigger one, just scaled up. So, there's no other way where you can actually see the cutter through the wood while you're turning. There's a company that I'm a distributor for, called Fiber Optic Technology out of Connecticut. There's a lot of, you probably find something on eBay.
Yeah.
The thing is, you need the cable small enough to fit in. I don't attach it to the tools because you saw I did 3 or 4 different tools. It'd be
Yeah.
kind of a pain to swap out, have it attached to a tool and then change it and so forth.
Excuse me.
So